From the Samson Production Studios in the heart of Hazleton, Pennsylvania, it's your News 13.
Brought to you by SSP TV and the Standard Speaker.
School officials and state police are speaking out about the arrest of some teens accused of having bullets and a stolen gun. The latest on the investigation is where we will begin tonight, live at 5. But first, Hazleton's SWAT team was out in full force this morning in the city and West Hazleton. We'll tell you more about that. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us, everyone. I'm Kristen Bazinski. Now, we are actually going to begin with a few developing stories coming out of our area. Broad Street is just reopening in the borough of West Hazleton, where a gas leak was detected right around 4 o'clock this afternoon on North Broad Street. A 3-inch gas line was hit. UGI rushed to the scene along with firefighters. Houses were actually evacuated and Broad Street was shut down for about 25 minutes. The situation was brought under control quickly and the area is back to normal as of this 5 o'clock hour. No word on how this line was hit. And this accident in Klein Township sent at least one person to a trauma center. The car and the big rig collided on the Mile Hill in Klein Township, causing a major traffic headache right around 3:30. Firefighters shut down 309 to land a medical helicopter right on the roadway. Cars were detoured around the crash. No word on how it happened or the names of those involved. Now to the city of Hazleton, where at least 2 people were taken away from a Pine Street home in cuffs after city police raided the place. Officers in SWAT gear surrounded 209-211 Pine Street this morning. The cops busted in and took 2 people away in cuffs, 1 man and 1 woman. We know drugs were found inside the Pine Street home. We talked to a neighbor who watched it all happen and was shaken up.
I saw 2 cops, one outside of the one car over here and one on the porch, and they had their guns out, and my daughter got scared, so I had to move from the window. And then they went in and they brought a guy out in custody, and about 5 minutes later they brought another girl out into custody. They both went in 2 different cop cars and they took them, and then the SWAT team came like 3 times, and they're all sitting on the porch. And the SWAT team went in the back of the house in case somebody else, was in the house that ran out in the back. And then that's all I saw. But, I mean, it was, I could count. There was 8 cops out here in front of my house this morning.
News 13 also found police in the borough of West Hazleton shortly after the Pine Street incident. We were there as one man was led out of a home on Winters Avenue and into a waiting police cruiser. Hazleton police told us late this afternoon that 3 people total are in custody and will be arraigned in just a little while. Drugs were found in both locations. We'll have more on the busts and the arrests on SSPTV.com later tonight and, of course, tomorrow live at 5. More details are emerging this evening after 83 bullets were discovered last week inside a garbage can at the Hazleton Area 9th Grade Center. News 13 met with Superintendent of the Hazleton Area School District, Dr. Francis Antonelli, Assistant to the Superintendent, Don Basic, and Trooper Chris Basic from the State Police Tuesday morning. News 13 has learned that the .22 caliber bullets, which look a lot like these, were brought to school by a 16-year-old boy and given to another boy the same age inside the bathroom. It was there that the bullets were to be temporarily hidden in a garbage can. Officials say the same boy who received the bullets had a .22 caliber stolen gun, like this one, waiting for him at his home, which police tell us was to be used for target practice. The .22 caliber revolver was one of several guns recently stolen from a Klein Township home. Trooper Basic tells us it was a 14-year-old boy who not only was involved in the Klein Township burglary, but was the seller of the gun. And even though the 16-year-old boy voluntarily handed the gun over to police from his home in Rock Glen, one of the charges the 14-year-old boy now faces is possession of a weapon on school property.
The possession of a weapon on school property charge stems from information that's been made available that the 14-year-old carried the gun in a backpack on the parking lot of the Career Center. It never made it in the building. The sale and transfer, if you want to call it that, took place in what we refer to as the Smoker's Corner, 22nd Lincoln Street. and there's information available that he was in the parking lot at some point with that gun in his backpack bag.
As it turned out, within 2.5 days, all the responsible individuals were apprehended and, in fact, are in custody.
An investigation was launched. Ultimately, 3 male juveniles, one from McAdoo, age 14 years old, one from Rockland, age 16 years old, and one from Sugarloaf, age 16 years old, were identified as being the parties responsible for these crimes.
There was never danger to students in the building on that day. As Dr. Antonelli again said, we were in process of an investigation. The investigation proved to be fruitful, and a safe situation was had by all.
School administrators stressed that the gun was not inside any of the buildings on campus. Again, that weapon was one of many recently stolen from a Klein Township home. Now, Dr. Antonelli also stressed that after the bullets were found on Tuesday at the dismissal of school, the building was searched for hours that evening and again throughout the school day Wednesday. The investigation could not have been conducted had students not been inside the buildings, and therefore students were kept in school on a restricted movement Wednesday. Dr. Antonelli said the school is now looking to possibly add metal detectors to use on a daily basis. All 3 juveniles involved in this incident are not back in school and are in custody. He was one of America's most wanted, and after being on the run for some 6 months, the accused killer was picked up in our area. The U.S. Marshals captured Roshamich Roberts on Monday in Wilkes-Barre. Investigators say they had information that Roberts may have been in the Wilkes-Barre area. And then additional information came into authorities because of Roberts being featured on America's Most Wanted, which helped to confirm pieces of leads that were working. Marshals closed in on Roberts in the 100 block of Old River Road in Wilkes-Barre, and he initially denied his identity, but eventually confessed to who he was and even said he had watched the America's Most Wanted episode he was featured on. Currently, he is awaiting extradition back to West Virginia. Roberts is accused of shooting and killing 25-year-old Ryan Henry Labor Day weekend of 2011 in Virginia at a bar where a large fight broke out. Ryan's brother Ricky was also involved and was seriously injured after being shot in the face. Roberts' brother and 2 other men are already locked up for their part in this crime. An Italian restaurant was broken into overnight Monday into Tuesday in Girardville, Schuylkill County. Sons of Italy on West Main Street is where troopers say someone got in through a hallway door and stole cash. There was also a flat-screen TV taken from an upstairs apartment, and troopers say the resident of that apartment was actually home when the break-in happened. If anyone has any information on this burglary, you're asked to call State Police in Frackville at 874-5300. Coming up on News 13, if you're a NASCAR fan, then we have great news for you because you have the opportunity to see some of the top drivers in action in Pocono in just 2 weeks. And it's the end of the road for the Santorum campaign, why the Pennsylvania native decided to, today, throw in the towel. All right, listen up, NASCAR fans. You won't have to wait until June to see some of the stars of the sport hit the track at Pocono Raceway. Goodyear Tire, the official tire of NASCAR, will be doing some tire testing on April 24th and 25th, meaning certain drivers will show up and test the newly paved track. The raceway is in the final stages of repaving the entire track, and it's essentially a brand new racetrack. Goodyear engineers will provide a number of different tire compounds and will determine through this test what are the best compounds based on results of the test. Goodyear will then produce the tires that will be used in the June 10th Pocono 400 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race. The drivers and teams tentatively scheduled for Pocono tests are Jamie McMurray, Casey Kane, Joey Logano, AJ Allmendinger, and Eric Almirola. Fans are invited to come out both days to watch the testing free of charge. For more information on how to take part in the April testing or for ticket information for this summer's 2 NASCAR races in Pocono, you can call 1-800-RACEWAY or visit PoconoRaceway.com. And you're taking a look from when I took a ride in actually a NASCAR at Pocono with driver Clint Boyer. So they're going to hit the track early this year. So all you race fans, that is an extra treat here in Northeast Pennsylvania. Up on your screen right now, your winning midday lottery numbers. Good luck if you played. Your daily number, triple ones, Big 4, 0580, Quinto, 59680, Treasure Hunt, 6, 9, 19, 22, and 30.
Good evening, everyone. Here's tonight's Talk of the Town. The Greater Hazleton Health Alliance presents a sleep apnea program. This will be held Thursday, April 26th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at the Health and Wellness Center. Join Dr. Henry Smith Jr. as he discusses the symptoms, causes, and treatment of sleep apnea. Pre-registration is required, so you can call 570-501-6204, or you can register online at ghha.org. And Surviving Together, a prostate cancer support group. This will be held May 3rd with a guest speaker, Dr. Kai T. Sang, 6 p.m. at the Perkins on Route 93. You can call the American Cancer Society for more information at 1-800-227-2345 and make your reservations by April 30th, please. And that's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 extends our deepest sympathies to the family and friends of these recently departed. Margaret Jeziorski, formerly of Hazleton. The funeral services were held today from the Bruce C. Van Arsdale Funeral Home. Nancy C. Yanarell of Hazleton. A massive Christian burial will be held Thursday at 10:30 a.m. from the Holy Rosary Church. Visitation will be held from Thursday from 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. John B. Dell of Freeland. Arrangements are under the direction of the McHugh-Wilczek Funeral Home. Mary Ann Patasio of Freeland. A memorial service will take place Thursday at 8 p.m. from the Hazel Chapel of the Cropton Hughes Funeral Home. Friends may call Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. And Francis M. Primack of Shenandoah. The Walukovich Orvitsville Funeral Home is in charge of the arrangements. Tonight's obituaries have been brought to you by the Smilax Floral Shop on 15th Street in Hazleton. Free delivery to all local funeral homes. Call 570-454-0111. And by Mia's. Don't settle for the second best when dining out. Discover Mia's new low-priced dinner menu for 2012. Remember, there's plenty of free gated parking in the Marco Building lot. Find us on the web at miasrestaurant.com or follow us on Facebook.
For this week's Super segment, I am at the Hazleton Area High School talking to the supervisor of school nurses, Ellen McBride. And as you may already know, a new law involving immunizations for kids was put into place at the beginning of the year. Still, some students are not immunized. So welcome, Mrs. McBride. Tell me, when is the deadline for these immunizations?
Thank you. The deadline actually is going to be April 29th, and that makes all of the students able to take their PSSAs, which it was coming close to the fact that maybe some of them would have to be taken out of school during the PSSAs. What happened was the law was passed in August of 2011. It became effective as of the beginning of this school year. We were allowed to let these students enter it as a provisional status. And the provisional status could last 8 months. Well, it is now the end of that 8 months. And we have a little over 2,000 students in all of the public schools. We haven't even worked on the parochials yet. I mean, we know how many are there, but there aren't many. But at any rate, 2,000 students, if they don't get them between now and August 29th, will be asked to leave on August 30th. That day of school, they will not be allowed to enter.
Okay, so how can we help get them immunized?
What we've been doing is we've been sending the letters home. We sent one home at the beginning of the year. We sent one home in between then, and we just sent a recent one. Elementary nurses are calling their parents. We have put several articles in the paper. We have actually met with Channel 13 before. The only thing that I could suggest is they get in touch with their doctors and they find out if they do need the immunizations that are required. K through 12 needs a second varicella or a second chickenpox if they had not had the disease. 7th grade needs a Tdap if they had not had tetanus within 5 years, and it needs a meningococcal. So those are the areas that we need to concentrate on. And it's very simple, but they need to find out from their doctors if they have it. If they don't have it, they need to get it before the 29th.
Now, there are some immunization clinics in place, not here in Hazelton,
Right.
but close.
Yes. We've worked hard to try to get them here, but the closest one is in Wilkes-Barre, and I have a number that you can call. It's 826-2071, or just call 1-877-PA-HEALTH. And they can make an appointment. There are very few clinics up there, and they said that there are very few openings. They may have one down here, but it will be after the date, the April 30th deadline.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Mrs. McBride, for your time for this week's Super segment. I'm Jasmine Brooks, and I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Jasmine, thanks so much. Sunny to start the day, but some clouds moved in, and it was a bit chilly if you spent any amount of time outdoors. Let's take a look at tonight's creative condition coming to us from Michael Berta from Holy Family Academy. Michael is in 5th grade. Thanks to him for sharing his artwork with us, and we can only hope for the sun to be shining this bright on our Wednesday. Let's find out. Cloudy skies will be sticking around with us this evening. Chance of some sprinkles. We're going to dip down to the freezing mark at 32. Tomorrow we'll climb up to 44, and unfortunately that sun's going to stay away for our Wednesday. We do actually have a chance of snow and rain mixing together here in Greater Hazelton. We'll have to wait and see what Mother Nature decides to bring our way. Your forecast tonight, live at 5, brought to you by Just Windows and much, much more. The pros in windows and doors since 1985. Make sure you visit their website, justwindowsandmore.com, or just stop by 1st Street in Freeland, 636-1133. Also, if you're looking for a new oil company, why not try Fegley Oil Company, serving Tamaqua and Hazel Township at fegleys.com. More information or call 1-800-572-4925. And once again, we have 2 chances for our viewers to win 2 tickets to the Jason Bishop Show. The show hits the stage at the Alice C. Wiltsey Performing Arts Center in Hazelton this Saturday, April 14th at 7 o'clock. If you love magic and optical illusions that trick the mind, this show is for you. The Jason Bishop Show features stunning and original state-of-the-art magic and is surprisingly funny and truly magical. Each routine is presented in Jason's unique style with modern pop and rock musical soundtracks playing throughout. Call now to win tickets, 459-9813. Callers 3 and 13 will win the tickets. Good luck. This is for the Live at 5 newscast only. News 13 will be right back with more local news live at 5:30. We take a stop at the special blood drive held in honor of a young woman who is fighting the battle of her life right now. Make sure you stay with us.